So next we'll discuss about this program. So we know arithmetic operations, how to read data from keyboard, how to initialize the data to local variable. Okay, so now how to perform one basic arithmetic operation. You can take this program, write a Python program, read a student name and 3 subject marks from input stream, and calculate sum of 3 subjects and average of 3 subjects, and display that all the input values to monitor and line by line. So if you want to take input from keyboard, recap what we studied, the function input function. Recap input function syntax. So whenever you're learning program, first you should know the definition of the topic, then syntax, then example, then you can try this activity, that is exercise. So first input function, we should know what is input function. Input is a standard function. This function always interface to keyboard. Input argument, it's a prompt symbol. So prompt, inside you can write whatever the message we want to write it, that will display to console, and input function interface to keyboard initialize to your input variable value. So what are the input you are typing from that input device, that is initialized to the local variable. Now by default this variable will be string type of variable. If you check with the type followed by variable, the result will be always string type of data. Recap all the previous topic. So if it is string type data, student name, it is fine, it is always string. You can just think about subject. Subject is a digits. If it says number 78 or number 65, that all it's a digits. If you enter 65, that output will look like this 65. It's string type. So we need to go to typecasting. How to typecast? We can use this following function notation. Or else we can do, while reading itself, we can take input from keyboard. I'll convert it to integer format. So all our previous discussion, we'll write it here in the program. The first one, I can take name, input, enter a student name, then so I'll take student name Kumar. Now you can print name, it's called Kumar. Now you can create the prompt symbol, enter a subject 1 mark, subject 1 S1. If I say 65, see this S1 value, it is string type of data. So you can typecast it to integer. This typecasting, it's only for runtime typecasting. It's not modified your original variable. So we can typecast to in original variable, means we can use int followed by subject 1. You can initialize to S1. Now you can typecast. So instead of doing this multiple step, you can write it while reading itself. Enter a subject 1 followed by subject 1. While reading itself, you can use typecast it to integer. See the function input interface to keyboard, and return that whatever the input you're typing from keyboard, that always will be string, because keyboard it's a character type device file in OS point of view. So it will accept everything will be string format. Okay, so it is string structure. That's why explicitly we are typecasting to integer. Now type of S1, that is string type data. So this typecasting, it's only for runtime typecasting view. So we can initialize to local variable. Once if you put assignment, you are creating memory, initializing to that value to the respective memory location. So after typecasting this, then S1 value will become to be as 65 as a integer type data. Now all the steps I writing here in a single step point. First innermost operation. See the line innermost operation. Innermost operation is prompt symbol, that will be string. If I enter the number 65, that will be string. String converted to internally, it will become to be as 65 like this. So what will be the output? Number 65. This 65 only initialized to S1 variable. Number S1 variable location. Okay, here it is typecast value int followed by 65. Okay, int followed by 65. Here it is just I put commented line, that's an error. Ignore that line. Say this point. Int followed by 65. So now internally int of followed by 65. Now you can see this S1 value integer. Understand the point? While reading the name, compare this line. While reading the name, we didn't use any typecasting. Name is always will be string. So input returns will be string type data. While reading any digits, integer or float, it will always default will be string type. That's why we are using this explicit typecast testing. So like this we can read one by one. So how to write it in the programming way? I'll take notepad, input, I'll take number input, enter a student name, initialize to variable name. We can use IDE or any other IDE or Notepad++ or any advanced editor. Just I'm taking normal Notepad. Subject 1. I want to take input. So here you can create prompt message. Enter a student name. Enter student subject 1 mark. Subject 1 mark. See the prompt symbol here inside I used formatting notation. Format followed by name. So it will be like interactive. Enter the student name is Arun, means enter Arun subject 1 mark. Enter Vijay subject 1 mark. So based on your input based the operation subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. So we can initialize to that individual variable subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Now S1, S2, S3. This variable integer type variable. So how to write integer? Typecast to integer format. So while reading itself we can use typecast to integer. While reading itself, or else while doing the calculation we can typecast to integer. It depends on. So here I converted to integer format. See the last 3 inputs are converted to integer format. Now I'll take total value subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, that is arithmetic, then average value total divided by 3. So always this division operator return will be total is 450 divided by 5, return will be 90.0. If you want to print only integer type data, you can use floor division operator. Floor division. So we'll let it integer type data, floating value. This is arithmetic operation. Now I want to print the message multi-line string. So you can take some input statement, some formatting like this. Name of the student, you can create format. Subject 1 followed by format. Subject 2 followed by format. Subject 3 followed by format. Like this we can place it subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 like this. Like this we can create some format. Then followed by total value, then average value. Like this we can, this user defined string prompt symbol. Then we can initialize. So whenever you use multi-line string, remember 3 times you have to repeat the quotes. Multi-line string statement. Okay, otherwise it will throw error. Dot format. Then replace it. First curly braces name variable. Second curly braces format notation. Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Then last one total value. Then comma followed by total. Then next value average AVG. Then close the format notation. So this is basic arithmetic operation program where interface with the keyboard. Input all, it is keyboard input based arithmetic. So what is the question is given? Write a program, read a student name, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 mark from input stream. Okay, so this is all this input. Then calculate sum of this one. This is arithmetic operation. And this is division operation, average. Then display using single print. I'm writing one by one, line by line flow. So how to run this program? We can save this file. It is, say for example, I'll keep it in my desktop. A file name .py. I'll keep it. Whenever use notepad, remember .py extension all files type. So we can go to my command line prompt, desktop location, cd desktop location. So type python e1.py. Compare this notepad here, the program. The first line, cell interpret here, Python interpret input function. Enter a student name. The prompt is displayed to screen. Now it's based on your input, the variable will get initialized. Say input is called Arun. I enter. Now see the line, next line, the name will get replaced. The name value will get replaced. Arun 65 and 56 and 76. Like this we can pass input. So we can customize to this floating value. Okay. Now say this based on your input the value. So the next prompt simple, enter what are the name you are entering, that name will get displayed and based on arithmetic. So second time executing the program, if I enter the name is called Anu, then followed by subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, and say this input type value. Based on the input, the value. So enter Anu subject 1, subject 2, the variable. This is execution input, interactive input statement. Interactive input. Any input if you want to take in Python, either integer or string or value, anything, if you want to read a data from keyboard means, so you can remember the function input function. Input function always returns type will be string type data. Explicitly if you want to make as integer or float, we can use typecast operation. Okay. If not used to typecasting, this will become to be string concatenate operation. All string will be combined. This will become to be a type error, argument exception will occur, mismatching the type. So if determine the data type, Python it's a dynamic type programming. We don't have any primitive type. So for calculation purpose, if we want to do any numerical data, we can use typecast operation. And the bottom line, all this message is from single print output. From this line to till end of this last one, it's all single print message. Displayed all the input line by line like formatted style. We can use control string or you can use format notation style. You can use single quotes also repeated 3 times. Okay. So this all it's a basic operations about calculations, how to use input function, how to use variable usages, how to calculate the data, how to display line by line view. Okay, so followed by we'll discuss on the remaining topic. Thank you.